Всем привет! Здравствуйте! Hello, dear friends! And today I welcome you to my kitchen, моя кухня again, because I promised you to have second installation on our борщ education, and we are going to be making a vegetarian борщ. Вегетарианский борщ. Вегетарианский борщ. And it's going to be a little bit shorter process because there is no meat cooking part of that. So let's begin. I will get all the vegetables ready, and today I'm working with two cameras. If you're going to take a look over there, so the station over my stove is ready, and I hope that the process is going to be a little bit more convenient today. Well, we are starting our process. This pot is going to be our main tool for today's borщ preparation. We are not going to have any destructive actions in terms of having the second frying pan going over here. Everything is in one pot. So let's pour some water, and then we'll turn it on and let it sit like this. And the water again, please, Russian borщ has to be made in a large pot, but I simply cannot cook too little. No matter whether I live by myself or I cook for the entire family, the amount of the soup is going to come out the same. It's going to be huge pot of borщ. Again, I'm inviting everyone who is nearby, come over and try my borщ. We are turning the heat on, and I start it on the medium, and it's going to start this water on the medium and going to be continuing on the medium like that. And the first vegetable, cabbage. Let's go and see how I prepare that cabbage. Okay, here it is, our cabbage. Kapusta, kapusta, kapusta. And please again, make sure that it's really finely done. And what I want to tell you that since we don't have meat, it has to have more vegetable ingredients, and that's why we will need to make sure that we have a little bit more of everything comparing to the previous version of borщ. So this is our cabbage, and this is a small head. I showed it to you last time, but this time the entire head will go into the pot. And the finer you chop it, the better. Okay, so the outer leaves should go into the trash. And okay, and that is our cabbage. Again, I will make it even a little bit smaller, and our cabbage is ready to go into the pot. Very important thing to note, your water is doing nothing because it's sitting on the medium heat, so barely warm, but you put your cabbage inside already, and we start building up all the ingredients. And the first one goes kapusta. Kapusta, cabbage goes into the pot. And that's how it starts. And it doesn't look much yet, but trust me, by the end of the process, the soup will be as beautiful as the previous borщ. Kapusta, kapusta. The second one is luk, onion, and it goes almost immediately after the cabbage, после капусты. So, and I told you that I chop you my onion in half rings. And sometimes it's not that fine, sometimes it's fine. It just really depends, but so to speak, because it's going to be boiled, cooked, soft, and you won't even notice. Okay, so, and I'm going to take it to the pot. You see, nothing is waiting, nothing is sitting here. Our second ingredient, it's onion. And don't worry about mixing everything, because right now we are just assembling the product, and that's why it just sits like that. And now potatoes, картофель, картофель, картофель. And I know that you all know how I chop it. Cubes, really nicely done cubes. And again, since it's a vegetarian version, we are making everything more. We're putting, if I had 2 potatoes in the previous version, original borщ, now I am adding 4 potatoes, 4 картошки. Assembly process will take less time, and that's why it's less time consuming to make this borщ. And let's go and add it to the pot. My second camera over here. I'm like a real professional in the kitchen. Maybe I should become a chef instead of a teacher of Russian language. I don't know, maybe then my channel is going to be doing better. Just a thought, just a thought. Look how thick is everything is here. But remember that the cabbage actually then shrinks and becomes a little smaller, and everything is going to be fine. Nice consistency, nice thickness of the soup, and we let it sit for now. I'll cover it with the lid. Where is my lid? Here is my lid. It's covered, and wait until it starts coming up to a boil. I am not going to raise temperature. And meanwhile, we are continuing chopping our vegetables straight to the pot. And before I forget, I didn't tell you that this borщ, I will have one extra ingredient that I didn't put into the original borщ with meat. At the end of the process, I will be adding a can of beans, red beans, and red kidney beans, and I love it that way. It gives a little bit of more texture to the soup, and at the very end, before after everything is in the soup, this can of beans will go into the pot. So meanwhile, let's do the tomatoes, помидоры. And these tomatoes are from my garden. See those squirrels, they left me a little something by the end of the orchard season. Okay, let's cut this. And this our tomatoes, and it really doesn't matter how you cut it. And I'll go to the other camera. Наши помидоры приехали, наши помидоры, our tomatoes go in, our tomatoes go in. Yeah, I know that last borщ wasn't that much of an immersion lesson. Now I am including more of Russian language into this one. So let's repeat our words. Кастрюля, кастрюля, в кастрюлю. Our next set of vegetables. Our next vegetable, bell peppers, and I didn't have bell peppers, so any pepper will do. It's the last one from my orchard, and then I had this sweet, wonderful peppers, and they will do for our borщ. And what I wanted to tell you, that a bell pepper, sweet pepper is a must ingredient. You can't do without it. So that's why it's very crucial that when you cook borscht, make sure you have bell pepper, because it's really essential. It makes the borscht delicious. It makes borscht delicious. And this is my mild pepper. Thank you, squirrel, that you left me something to cook this borscht with. Next year I'll know how to prepare against you a little bit better. Okay, so now the pepper will go into the pot. Here's our pepper. And look, the borscht is building up. And it's getting warmer and warmer. Warmer and warmer. So, and let me see the consistency of soup. Yes, very, very nice. Okay, so look at this. It's getting better and better, and it's getting warmer and warmer. Now to my least favorite part making borscht. It's grating vegetables. And again, somebody asked me while watching the previous version of borscht, do I have these vegetables boiled or raw? All vegetables that go into borscht, they're all raw vegetables. That's why it's kind of hard to deal with them. So if you prefer to use any type of tools or kitchen utensils, of course, by all means, use those. I use my grater. Again, I'm using two smaller bits, свекла, две свеклы, небольшие, две небольшие свеклы, and then because the carrots, морковь тоже очень маленькая, carrot very little, I'm going to use more carrots for this soup. So but it's organic and it's very sweet. Очень сладкая морковь, очень вкусная, very, very good carrots. I'm sure that those of you who are good at cooking, you will be able to figure out on your own amount of vegetables that should go into your pot of borscht. Okay, here it is. And let me make this smaller, cut it in pieces. And now let's go to another camera and see how it's going to make soup immediately beautiful, immediately. And this is this magic moment. These are essential ingredients for our soup because they're responsible for the color. So beets, carrots, they're really very, very important. Again, the quality of beets, very important, because the old beet, if it's not that bright, that red, it's not going to do any good for borscht. Your borscht is going to be very weak color. And as I explained to you, that I prefer my borscht being of a very, very nice, rich color, that beet. Look at this. Immediately, that borscht turns into something very beautiful right away. Let's wait until it comes to a boil, and then I will be adding some vegetable oil to it and some spices, and of course my ketchup. I will be adding some ketchup to it as well. Nice process. You see, it's already, the steam comes up and it's getting where it's supposed to go. The magic is being done over here. That is one delicious pot of soup going to be. Meanwhile, I'm going to chop my tops the leaves of carrot and beet, because I really love this nice addition, add some wonderful flavors to the soup. And now it's the right time to place this greenish stuff into the pot. Let me go to another camera. Wow, I love my process today. Nice process. I love how I organized it today. I'm telling you, maybe I really should switch the specialty of my channel. Okay, you let me know what you think. And зеленые, да, вершки. So, листья морковки, ботва, по-русски это ботва моркови и свеклы идет сюда. Look, I think we are ready to add our oil. If you all know that I love this. It's not for the commercial, it's not for the promotion. I'm not getting anything but avocado oil. That's my absolutely favorite, and I just freely pour into the soup. I don't know, it's maybe half, or maybe not half, third of a cup. Third of a cup you pour over here. And while you pour in that oil, you also, it's the time for our ketchup. Okay. And the ketchup is over there. It means that we are ready for our seasoning. And seasoning, again, I told you that I use this wonderful spoon, and I know how much to use. Okay, here we go. It's probably a tablespoon for the pot like this, a tablespoon of salt. And then all the same ingredients, all the same spices, the black pepper, перец, так, соль, salt, соль, перец, black pepper, перец, paprika. Really love my paprika. So let's a little bit, don't overdo. And my own fine, I don't know, I just started using it on the squash soups, and then I said, okay, if I'm using it on squash soup, let me try to use ground sage on borщ, and I like it ever since. So it looks nice. And now it's red chili pepper, just few drops. Okay, our seasoning is done, and I think now I can bring it to a boil for a very short period of time, and then immediately the moment it starts boiling, then I bring it down to the medium again and let it cook like this for maybe 20 minutes or so, because the assembly of the soup is over. That's where we leave the soup alone. So everything is in there, all the ingredients, including the vegetable oil and including all the spices, everything is ready, except for the beans, that the beans will go in maybe in 10 minutes or so. But I love how it looks very, very nice. Just wanted to share the process with you. Look at this beauty. It's really becoming prettier and prettier. Okay, here is our soup. all our vegetables. And now it's the time for our can of beans. So this is our beans. And then 10 more minutes before the greens will go into the pot. Look, the color is just turning out to be very nice. Very nice color. It's looking better and better. Better and better. I am bringing one more time this soup to heavy boil for maybe 5 seconds because I just want to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed and the flavor is being released at this moment as much as possible. And after 5 seconds of heavy boiling, I'm taking it to lowest low and let it simmer for another maybe 10 minutes, maybe even less, because look at this. Everything looks very, very good to me. In 20 minutes, this soup will be yummy, very delicious. Okay, look. Okay. And it goes to a low, and let me stir it. See, we still have this white foam. It's not quite ready. That is the sign that it needs to sit a little bit more before I add the final ingredients, all those herbs that go on top. Let it just slow down cooking, boiling. Let it simmer for a little while longer, and then we'll add some greens, and then it will be done. Remember our greens. This is петрушка, петрушка, петрушка. Это укроп, укроп, укроп. И это у нас кинза, кинза. So cilantro, parsley, and baby dill. This is the 3 greens, that all is 3 herbs that go into any Russian soup, at least any my soup that I'm cooking. I can do without parsley, but I cannot do without cilantro, because cilantro is the smelling ingredient of our borщ. Let me get it ready, and this will go at the very, very end, when almost ready, when the soup is ready. It will go on top of on the surface of soup. I am not even stirring it in. I will let it sit like that on the surface. And since this is our last step of assembly, I am also adding our garlic to this pot. I'm going to use today the different one. Okay, and you count, it's about 5 to 6 cloves. Well, we are almost done. These are the smelling ingredients: garlic, чеснок, 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 and our herbs: петрушка, укроп и кинза. Петрушка, укроп, кинза, parsley, baby dill, and cilantro. So garlic, cilantro, baby dill, and parsley, and it goes on top, on the surface of this soup. And I am not stirring it in. I'm just making sure that it's evenly distributed over the surface. That's how it is. That let it sit for 20 minutes. And then I will stir it and I will dish it up. So it's a little bit simmering right now. I'm going to turn it off shortly, and then we'll be done with this soup. You see, I told you it's going to be much faster, it's going to be much easier, and it has been faster and it has been easier. So it's almost ready. Let the final magic work on this wonderful magic pot. Well, my dear friends, we are at the end of the cooking process. Look at the soup. Look at the borщ. It's ready. It's ready. It's nicely done simmering, and now I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off and letting it sit on the hot stove for another 20 minutes before it's going to be ready to go into the soup bowl. And now the final moment you all have been waiting for. The soup is ready, and I'm going to serve a bowl of this borщ. Look, first mixing everything. See, consistency is very nice. And now let me, this is my bowl, and that's the soup. So this is the bowl of soup, and I'm going to get ready to serve it. Well, that was a lovely morning at the channel Russian with Puma Messi. My soup is ready, my borщ is ready. Look at that pot. It's a huge pot again. Thank you so much for being at the channel Russian with Puma Messi. This is our final product, vegetarian борщ, вегетарианский борщ. It's delicious. Again, I have plenty of it to go around. Please stop by and I'll share that борщ with you. Thank you for participating with me. Thank you for being at the channel Russian with Puma Messi. Another cooking project we did together. I'm wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you very, very soon.